Good evening and welcome to the session today. The session today is about gratitude, and I would like to start by asking you a question. How many of you would like your 2021 to be rocking? If you would like your 2021 to be rocking, please type rocking 2021 in the chat box. 2020 में तो पत्थर बहुत सारे पड़े हम लोगों के ऊपर, बट ये मैं वो वाले रॉकिंग की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट रॉकिंग एज इन एक्साइटिंग 2021. So those of you who would like the 2021 to be exciting, please type rocking 2021 and let us see how many responses we have got. It seems only 5-6 people want to be rocking 2021. This session is for those who want their 2021 to be rocking. So one of the ways to start making your 2021 rocking is by participating actively in the session. Being a inactive participant or passive participant is not the way you will be able to make your 2021 rocking. So please go pick up your fingers, move them, and just type rocking 2021 in the session today. I have welcome all of you to this session. I really appreciate your taking out time on a Saturday evening and joining us. I understand, this is December and this is chilly, and it's also the time when the kind of parties have started. It's a weekend, so parties mood has set in, and you people have taken out time, from your hectic schedules to join us. So really appreciate that. And Dr. Nupur and I will make sure that this 1.5 hours that we spend together will be really worth your while. That's our promise to you. 2020 has been a year full of challenges for us, whether it is on the related to money or career or, health or relationships. We have faced challenges all around. And please type yes in the chat box. You can type Y or you can type yes in the chat box if you relate to any of these statements. Please type yes if you feel I wish I could handle stress better. I wish I could cut down on my negative emotions. Very good. Please let your responses coming in. I wish I could have better control over my reactions. Please type Y if this resonates with you. I wish I had more time. A lot of people, I talk to have a sense are overwhelmed. They have a sense of overwhelm, having too much to do in too less a time. So, a lot of people wish they had more time. I wish I could improve the quality of sleep. The quality of sleep has been impacted for many people. They're stressed, they're not able to sleep. So if you wish you could sleep better, type Y. A lot of people have self-doubts, what will happen, they are worried, they have fear. So if you wish you had few moments of self-doubt, and if you wish you could be happier, please type Y. Let your responses keep coming in, friends. And would you believe me if I were to tell you that there is only one thing that we need to do to be able to get a response, to be able to solve all these challenges that we are facing. And don't believe that that solution is coming from me. Don't believe me because I am saying it. We will share a lot of case studies from across the world, from history, from contemporary business scenario. Dr. Nupur will bring in a lot of science to it. So we will, if we present to you a case which shows that practicing gratitude will solve all the challenges that we have talked about here. Will you be happy? Please give me a thumbs up sign if you think that resonates with you. You can, while you could be on mute, I would appreciate if you could keep your cameras on so that, it gives us a sense that we are talking to people and not only to, some blank screens. So you can use your emojis or you can turn your cameras on so that we know. So, don't just go by what I say, evaluate all the facts and figures that we present to you. Also, what we will request you to do is keep a notepad and pen handy, because you might want to take a lot of notes, and that will be good. There is a lot of stuff we have planned to cover in the next 1.5 hours. So please make sure that you are not disturbed during the next 90 odd minutes. And if possible, log in through your laptop, because Dr. Nupur would be doing a short meditation session in which she may ask you or request you to switch off your mobile or put it on aeroplane mode. So it will be good if you can log in through your laptop. Some of you are joining us for the first time, so for their benefit, I'd like to take a minute to introduce Mindful Living. I started Mindful Living in 2018. Prior to starting Mindful Living, I worked in the corporate sector for over 25 years in the financial services, life insurance and health insurance sector, healthcare sector, and I saw at very close quarters how people are really stressed. And from a desire to help people become healthier, happier, and wealthier, the idea of starting Mindful Living came up, and I formed this with a vision to help 1 million corporate employees to live healthier, happier, wealthier lives. And in the last 2 years, we have conducted over 150 sessions for leading organizations in India like the Tata Group, Times of India, CII, Airbnb, Power Grid Corporation, Tyson Group, Kotak Life, and so on and so forth. And we are regularly invited by the insurance brokers and insurance companies, healthcare companies, to speak to their clients. So that's in brief about me. I'll be conducting this session along with Dr. Nupur Agrawal. Dr. Nupur Agrawal lives in London, UK. She is a health and well-being coach specializing in mind-body connection. She's a certified mindfulness teacher and a clinical hypnotherapist. She has done immense amount of work with cancer patients in St. George's Hospital. And through the period of pandemic COVID, she has been offering online sessions for people. She's her work, her research has been published and has won awards. So we are very happy to have Dr. Nupur in this session. And I'm also like to express my gratitude to Dr. Nupur, because it was her idea that we conduct this session. So a lot of inputs for this session have come from Dr. Nupur.
Thank you so much, Ashish, and thank you to each one who have taken the time out. Really appreciate your presence. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nupur. And with that, friends, let's move on and see, how gratitude is a proven strategy for success. And this is, I'm not saying this, CNBC is saying this. And CNBC is, saying this basis the experience Arianna Huffington has had. Arianna Huffington is rated to be one of the most influential women in the world. Her net worth is about $100 million. Tony Robbins is considered to be one of the foremost personal development gurus in the world. His net worth is about $500 million. And Oprah Winfrey says that gratitude is her strategy of success. And some of you may have heard me talking about Oprah Winfrey earlier, but this is a story which is worth repeating. Oprah Winfrey was born to an unwed mother on a farm in America, and a black girl, with no family kind of history, and she was physically abused, and in her growing up years. And with that kind of background, she has today become a billionaire worth $3 billion, which is about 20,000 crore rupees. And one of the things, she practices gratitude, and she has written about it. She has written a book in which she has covered extensively about her gratitude practices. And at a point of time, somebody during an interview, somebody asked Oprah, Oprah, it's very easy for you to be grateful because you've got everything. For somebody who has got everything, it's very easy to be grateful. And Oprah gave a response which I really loved. She said, it's not because I'm grateful because I have everything. It is because it's not because I have everything I'm grateful. It's because I'm grateful I have got everything. So gratitude is what causes success. And it's not an isolated incident. Not few people who are saying this. Gratitude has been ingrained as a part of our culture. And let's look at what Bible says about gratitude. It says, whoever has will be given more and will have abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. When I read this for the first time, I thought this is rather cruel. Those who have, the haves will always keep getting more, and those who don't have, like rich keep getting richer and poor keep getting poor. So I thought, why is this there? Friends, is my pace okay, or would you like me to go slow or fast? If the pace is okay, you can just type okay in the chat box, or if you would like me to go slow, please type S. Okay, Atul ji says okay, Neena ji says okay, Harsh says okay, so I take that it's okay. So, and then when I read this in a different context, I realized what is being meant by what is said here. It says, whoever has, when we insert the word gratitude, it makes so much sense that whoever has gratitude will be given more, and he or she will have abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude, even what he or she has will be taken from him or her. This is what Jesus Christ said 2000 years back. And it's not only Jesus Christ. In Arabic cultures also, there is people say shukran. In many states in northern India, people, in Hindi we say dhanya ho, ya dhanyabad. Many states in northern India, people say shukr hai. And even the ancient Hawaiian practice of Ho'oponopono has gratitude as an integral part of it. The practice is very simple. Some of you may be familiar with it. It involves saying, I love you, thank you, and so thank you is an ingrained part of many cultures. So we have history, we have business that says, and then let me refer to the Newton's third law of motion, which says that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So this is where science comes in. And when we apply this to gratitude, what this means is every action of giving thanks always causes an opposite reaction of receiving. So if I give thanks, there is an equal and opposite reaction, which is receiving. When we receive, when what we receive is always equal to the amount of gratitude we have given. Every action of gratitude sets off an action of receiving, and the more gratitude we give, the more we receive. So that, friends, is a small case that we wanted to make about gratitude. And if we can also relate to it by looking at the nature around us, and you would have heard this, you reap what you sow. And let me give you an example of, sowing mango seed of a mango plant, and sowing seed of a bitter gourd, Karela. The earth, the air, the water, the sunshine is the same. The seed of mango gets the same earth, water, sunshine that the seed of bitter gourd or Karela gets. Then how is it possible that one plant or one tree gives you juicy, delicious mangoes, and another one gives you bitter gourd, kadwa Karela? What do you think? What makes the difference when the environment is the same? A lot of times we blame, there is so much negativity in the environment, but here the environment is the same. Then what is it that's making the difference? You please feel free to unmute yourself and speak, or put your responses in the chat. What is causing the difference? That in one case we get juicy, delicious mangoes, and in another case we get kadwa Karela. You can unmute and speak, or you could type in the chat. Atulji, you're on mute if you're saying something. Okay. What's the difference?
It's the inherent quality, I can say.
Yes.
It's the inherent quality of a bitter gourd and a mango.
Yeah. So when you're saying inherent quality, I guess what you're referring to is the seed, So
The seed.
the seed that we sow makes the difference, And let us look at, it's very easy to understand this, Supriya, that when we talk about seed, which is something which we can see in front of us, which is in the realm of physical nature. But it's at times very difficult for us to see the seeds that we are sowing in our mind. And let us see what are the seeds we are sowing in our mind. I don't like my job. I do so many sessions for corporates, thousands of people come and attend our webinars, and people ask me, oh, it's so difficult in my job. It's there are multiple complaints about the job. And these complaints are there when the record unemployment is there. Salary cuts have taken place. So there are many reasons people are very dissatisfied with their jobs. I don't have enough. I can't find the perfect partner. I can't pay my bills. Everybody, most people feel a lack, I don't get along. With my parents, my child is a problem. Relationships is a big issue, like I spoke about. My life is in a mess. This is a very common one that we hear. Marriage is in trouble. Now I'm laughing, but it's a very serious issue. Husband, wife being together, they are not able to get together. Parents, children are not able to get together because they are spending all the time together. So that's a big issue. Finances is a big issue for people. So these are the thoughts. Constantly we are sowing negative thoughts. So we will get kalava karela. Na? How is it possible that you sow negative thoughts but get juicy, delicious mangoes? Is it possible? No. So if we want juicy, delicious mangoes, we need to sow thoughts, positive thoughts. So we need to say that I love my job. We need to think that my family is very supportive. I have had the best vacation, or I'm feeling amazing. And when we give thanks, there is an opposite action of receiving. And gratitude is magnetic. The more gratitude we have, the more abundance we magnetize. And gratitude is such a powerful force that it accelerates success in the career. It brings about dream job or whatever you realize, perfect partner, whatever. And don't believe me, don't believe what Oprah is saying, don't believe anybody else, but try it. The best हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या, आप ट्राई करके देखिए, अगर आपके लिए वर्क करेगा तो अच्छा जरूर करेगा. And this we are saying with so much of practice. Our conviction in gratitude would not have come up if we would not have practiced and felt the results for ourselves. So we would strongly urge you to practice, and during the course of the session we will share some specific thoughts and actions and tools that you can use to support. So to put very simply, to receive, you have to give. So if I want success, I first need to thank for the success which I already have. If I want good relationships with my spouse or children, I first need to be thankful for the good that is there. And one of the very important things we need to realize is that, the gratitude is a heart energy. So it's not thinking gratitude, it's feeling gratitude. That is very important. So one of the questions we often get asked is, should I write gratitude? Should I speak gratitude? But my answer is, you should feel gratitude. As long as you're feeling gratitude, magic will happen. Writing is good because it gives you consistency in practice. But most important thing is to feel gratitude. And if you are with me, then please show the love sign to everybody who's there in this session. We can be grateful for the people who have come together in this session. We can feel grateful for the Zoom that is making this session possible. We can feel grateful for the internet that is making this session possible. So feel grateful, and feel grateful. If this group would not have come together, we would not have had this session. So I'm very grateful to each one of you who has come together, and you are enabling this session to happen. But if gratitude is so powerful, then why don't we express it? There is a research which was done by Janice Kaplan, JANICE KAPLAN, Janice Kaplan, and she says 90%, and this is our personal experience also. We launched some programs on gratitude, and when I was doing the research for launching that program, I spoke to many people, and people says, "No, why should I come to your program? I am a grateful person," and that is true. 90% of the people are grateful. But where the challenge is, we don't express gratitude. The research shows that only 40% people express gratitude. 90% of the people feel gratitude, but only 40% express it. That's where the gratitude gap is there. And what are the reasons? Why do you think we don't express gratitude? I would kind of pause here and like to hear from you. What, to your mind, are the reasons people don't express their gratitude? What could be some of the reasons? You can unmute and speak, or you could type in the chat. What do you think could be the reasons people don't express gratitude?
I think fear of rejection.
Yeah, fear of rejection is one.
I think whatever good happens, we take it for granted. That has to happen, so it has happened. So we just take it for granted.
That's very nicely put.
Yes,
we take it for granted. We get used to the fact, So, there is this very nice story that Janice Kaplan shares in her book, that, they were going for a holiday, and her husband drove hours and hours through the snow to get them to their holiday home. And when she reached, when they reached the destination, Janice told her husband, "Thank you." She said, "Thank you." She expressed her gratitude to the husband. And husband said, "It's my job." So we sometimes, we just take it for granted. So if my wife cooks meals for me, or if my mom cooks meals for me, I just take it for granted. That's what they're supposed to do. So very, very, very nicely said. Sometimes we just take it for granted. What else? Yeah. What else could be the reasons?
Our egos come in the way of acknowledging that somebody has done something for us.
Yeah, ego comes in the way. That's very nice, Tulsi. We like to take credit, that whatever is happening because of me. So one of the participants, I was speaking to, and she said, if I just keep saying thank you, then, how will I get credit? Because I'm just thanking everybody in a corporate environment. If you keep thanking everybody, Supriya says, I work for it, so we feel that it's because of me. And in fact, our next session that we are going to do next week is related to what just Supriya said, and I'll talk about it towards the end of the session. A sense of entitlement, yeah, because we feel ये तो मेरे को मिलना ही चाहिए, सरकार को तो ये मेरे लिए करना ही चाहिए, so I'm entitled to this. As a husband, I'm entitled to this, or as a wife, I'm entitled to this, or as a citizen, I'm entitled to this, or as an employee, I'm entitled to free coffee, and to, like, if you're in Google, then free laundry and free everything you get. So I'm entitled to this. And there is one more reason why people don't say gratitude, is because they are very busy. So in times like this, when we are working like 12 hours, 18 hours, one of the senior executives who was interviewed said, I am so busy from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. मेरे पास तो समय ही नहीं है thank you बोलने के लिए. But the fact is, if you say thank you, maybe you would be working less because your employees will be working more. So, taking time out, we sometimes, there's a lot of research. Can you put themselves on mute, please? There's a lot of research which says that being busy is an obstacle to practicing gratitude. That is one. And sometimes people also don't express gratitude because they feel, if I show appreciation for my employees, they will get shocked. and they will not work. They, हम लोग का mentality ऐसा है कि जब तक डंडे नहीं मारेंगे काम नहीं होगा, But if I start appreciating people, people will start taking it easy. But there is a research which was done by Adam Grant, and Adam Grant is one of the foremost psychologists. He has done a lot of work. He's published a lot of books, very interesting books. And he did this research along with Gino. And this was in a university but there was a team of people who were calling alumni and other people for raising funds. Asking some people for anybody for money is a very tough thing. So it's considered to be one of the toughest jobs. So there was a team who was calling, and what they did was this was a study over a 2-week period. And so after 1 week, the director of the university went to one of the teams and said that you guys are doing a very good job, and what you are doing is going to make an impact. So she had this conversation. At the end of the 2nd week, the team to which the director had spoken, their collections went up by 50%. So this is a very powerful study to anybody who has got this question that if I express gratitude towards my team, the performance will go down. So this research clearly shows that if we express gratitude towards our team, the performance does not go down, it goes up, because people feel appreciated, it improves their pride, and it, they are motivated to act more. And there is another example, there's not just research which from an American university, which I'm citing. When I used to have a boss who used to say that leaders have an attitude of gratitude. And I used to think, it's very easy for him to say, he's already a director. And, he can say, the directors can say everything. They're already arrived in life. So I didn't, at that point of time, this was about 15 years back, I didn't pay much attention to him. And what this gentleman used to do was, throughout the day, he would just keep saying, well done team. He would keep sending stickers for trophy champion. You are my champion. You are king. And he'll just keep motivating people. You're the awesome team and things like that. And it not only motivated team to perform better, it also did wonders for his career, because from being director in an insurance company in India, he became CEO of an insurance company in South Korea. And from there, he went on to become Asia Pacific head of an insurance company. And he was handling a $2 billion portfolio, which is about 15,000 crore rupee business, So from being a director to CEO to Asia Pac head, that's the kind of growth he had. So if we express gratitude at work to our people, it helps team to perform better, it helps our career, and so on and so forth. So attitude of gratitude is very, very important, and it works at a workplace. And one of the questions we get asked is, how do we practice, because it's not, we don't have time. And there's a very nice practice which was shared in Harvard Business Review, which is about 2-minute gratitude shower. So in this, everybody in the company gets together for 2 minutes at a particular time in the company, and say if you have a platform like Zoom or something, you can just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you on the chat, and it gets recorded and it gets acknowledged. So in case you are finding something, interesting, you can just go and say thank you, and that's recorded, and so it's there. So it's 2-minute exercise, and it takes care of the time, and it's very, very easily done. Another way of expressing gratitude at workplace is the something which I called Jadoo Ki Jhappi, which is from a movie Munna Bhai MBBS. And I have worked in the healthcare sector, and I for over 5 years, and I have seen it at close quarters. And you would remember and relate to the example, to the situation in the movie where Sanjay Dutt, the hero of the movie, goes and hugs the janitor and says, "What an awesome job you are doing." And that is so true. In the hospitals setup, it's always the doctors who are the star. But if for one day janitors don't come in the hospital will be shut down. No surgeries are possible if the hospital is not clean, but nobody acknowledges them. So another way of practicing gratitude at work is to acknowledge people, the unsung heroes, who are not cared for. So take time out to recognize people, to appreciate them, and that will set in motion the energy of gratitude to be released. So we have come to the end of first section. I'll pause here and see if you have any questions or comments. I'm happy to take them. You can unmute yourself or chat if you have any questions. We'll be happy to take 1 or 2 questions, or if you have any comments.
Nina here. So in fact, I feel our culture is also such that we don't freely appreciate or acknowledge people. Because the Americans, the foreigners, even they don't feel from the heart, but they say thank you, I appreciate. So they use these words very often, but in India I don't see that, whether it is at work or home or in society at a large, but we don't do it.
You're right, Neena ji. Though they also have this Thanksgiving Day, so it's instituted as a part of their culture, where the families get together. But in India, and it's not, even though it's there, they say thank you, but the more important thing is to feel it. And that's where Janice Kaplan research also says that only 40% people really express it, because there are many misconceptions in our mind that if I appreciate, I'll be taken for granted, I'll lose credit, or I'll be seen as a soft person, and things like that. You want to be seen as a driver, aggressive person who takes action and doesn't. So those are, and sometimes we don't practice gratitude because we have got used to feeling miserable. हमको लगता है हम miserable होंगे तभी achieve कर पाएंगे, हम खुश रहेंगे तो कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे, तो हम खुश भी नहीं रहते और दूसरों को भी खुश नहीं होने देते हैं. So that is another reason, but really appreciate your point there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So has this been worthwhile for you so far? Yeah, that's very interesting, Akashji. This is something which I hear often, that I am grateful, but people around me are not grateful. And what I would urge you is to be patient, because when you are sending out that energy of gratitude from your heart, it has to come back. There might be a time lag in which it comes back, but there is no two ways about it. But it will come back. So be little patient and keep practicing it, and maybe practice it with people who who reciprocate, and then go to people who are not so reciprocating, and then that's how you can build the practice. So are you learning a lot? Is this valuable? Has the discussion been good? You can do smiley, thumbs up if the going has been good so far. Thanks, Devparna. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Neena ji. Thank you, Sarla. So we move on to the next area. Thanks, Atulji, which is another very important area. Thank you. Thank you, Supriya. Which is about money, and in these times, a lot of people have lost jobs. Those who have their jobs have got salary cuts, promotions have not happened, and those who have jobs are also worried that, I may lose my job. Stock markets initially tanked and now they have recovered, and now people are fearing when will it fall? It's Christmas, FIIs will sell. So there is a lot of worry about the money. And here I would like to refer to Ken Honda and the book he has written about, which is titled Happy Money. It's a bestseller. Ken is a person who has written over 100 books which have sold millions of copies. And so the point I'm trying to make is he knows, and he has researched over 12,000 millionaires in Japan, for the work that he has done. So he knows what he is talking about. And he has been mentored by Wahei Takeda, WAHEI TAKEDA. I'm sharing these names in case you wanted to research Google later on. So Wahei Takeda is considered to be the Warren Buffett of Japan. And what he says is, irrespective of how our money situation is, we should be thankful for the money we have got. And they have a word in Japan which says arigato, arigato money, which is thank you money. So whatever money you have got, be grateful for that, even if it's little and it's not up to your expectation. It's very important for us to feel grateful to the money you have got. And I would like to share with you a small practice. If you have your wallet handy, you can take out the currency notes, and hold them. Or if you don't have, and if you can quickly get it, we'll pause for a couple of seconds for you to get. And just hold this currency in your hand with love and affection. And yeah, so we'll pause, for people to get their money wallets. And if you can put your cameras on, it will be nice, because then we can see some of you. So just hold the money lovingly and say, I love you money, and say it with feeling, I love you money. So we will move on, and I'd like to request Dr. Nupur to take over with this very, very powerful thought, which is similar to what Oprah Winfrey also shared. She said that it is not the things that make me grateful, it is gratitude that gives me those riches and success. So it is not the joy that makes us grateful, and it is the gratitude that makes us joyful. So on that note, Dr. Nupur, I would like to invite you to take forward the session from here.
Yeah, thank you, Ashish, and welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the breakout rooms. On that note, understanding that gratitude is the first practice that we must all have in our lives, and not the vice versa. Our conditioning has always been to get something and then express thank you. But this energy is teaching us that, let us start being grateful, for we have so much. And there is so much more that, will be given. But first, let's be grateful. Moving on to the next slide on that note, Ashish. So this is a very powerful scale of consciousness that I would like to share with you all. It is called the scale of consciousness on which our emotions have been mapped. It is believed that all our emotions are actually energy vibrating with a certain frequency. And we are all also energy vibrating at a certain frequency. And there is a research done on this. And the first pioneer of this research was Dr. David R. Hawkins. And he had expressed this in his book, Power versus Force. And since then, it has been used vastly, even in quantum physics, where they have understood that each emotion is vibrating with a certain frequency. Shame, guilt, apathy, grief being at the lower end of the spectrum, and enlightenment, joy, peace, unconditional love at the higher end of the spectrum. Now, what actually is that invisible force or that invisible energy that is lifting us from a particular level, wherever we may be on a particular day, to the next level, is gratitude. So you can almost imagine gratitude as an elevator or a lift that is taking you up from wherever you may be at that moment or in that day to the higher scale. And it is taking us from a contracted state of awareness into a much more expanded state of awareness. So a lot of people ask me in my work, in my practice, so how do I move up? I'm feeling miserable, I'm feeling hopeless today. And that's when I tell them, start practicing in this moment, what could you be grateful for? In this moment, given my challenges, given my situation, gratitude is not for the situation, gratitude is always for the moment. So once we start changing our vibrational frequency, getting into the mode of gratitude, it is amazing how it will start to lift us into higher states of awareness, into higher states and frequencies of consciousness. And that's what the power of gratitude does for us. Next slide, please. I would like to talk about gratitude for health, because I think if there is one thing that this pandemic has reflected and made us all realize is that maybe health is our real wealth. And that is something that we should not be taking for granted anymore if we have been doing that. We have understood, if we have seen it in very close quarters, Maybe some of us had the condition, maybe some of our family, our friends had it, but we have all witnessed it. And we've kind of understood that we are all connected in a much more deeper way than we all thought we were. Whether we are sitting in Singapore, whether we are sitting in India, whether I'm sitting here in UK, that doesn't really matter. You know, this force has come to unite us and ground us all together. It's almost the universe has grounded us and said that, you know, wake up and realize that health matters. Because if we are not healthy, nothing else can function. You know, so this is understanding that perhaps starting gratitude for what we have, for our good health. We may still be suffering from health conditions, we may still be suffering from diseases or conditions, but there are so many other aspects of our body that are functioning. You know, so start with being grateful for yourself. Like, you know, what they say in an aircraft, that always put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then on the child or whoever may be with next to you. So gratitude starts with yourself, with our bodies, with our health. And that's what the next slide is actually reflecting on, that we actually have been blessed with a miracle. Our bodies is a miracle. I have had the privilege in this life to study human body, and there are trillions of cells actually that are working for us, and the body is functioning on so many levels for us without us even realizing, you know, organ systems, whether we are sleeping, whether we are presenting to a board, whether we are doing a profession, whether we are cooking, our body is almost like an autonomic organization that is constantly working for us on our behalf. And there's something that, you know, we forget, we take for granted. But this is our time to really recognize this magical, miraculous instrument and start being grateful to ourselves, to our body. You know, I jokingly say that it takes us 12 to 15 years to specialize in one field in medicine. And how easily we forget that. We outsource our health, we outsource our well-being to our medical staff, to our clinical staff. But, you know, really take this moment to realize that what you are is magic. What you are is miraculous. And start diverting and directing that gratitude inwards to each cell, to each organ system. And you will start realizing you could just write an entire book on yourself. The next slide actually shows us there is so much when we start thinking of gratitude to be so grateful for. It is our these amazing faculties, and a lot of times you may have, if you have had COVID, you may have lost your ability to smell or taste, or you may have known people who have done that. So, you know, these are the abilities. I was speaking to a friend of mine. She said, I have lost my ability to smell and taste, and you know, I am so worried because if anything, I'm cooking and I'm away from the room, I wouldn't even realize if something is burning, because how much we take our sense of smell for granted, how much we take our sense of taste for granted. And, you know, starting with things that we are not making our heart beat. Our heart is beating all by itself, whether we are awake or whether we are asleep. Our breath is breathing all by itself. We have not contributed in any way. You could have created your business, you could have created your team, you could have created your children, which also is miraculous, but you have not created your heart, your breath. So, you know, when we start being grateful, we start reflecting how much can we be grateful for. I'm able to speak, you're able to hear me. There are so many people perhaps who don't have the ability to hear, or perhaps those who don't have the ability to speak. So, you know what? It is understanding that gratitude, once it becomes your default mode, once it becomes your focus, you will always be humble. You will always be so humble and so polite because you recognize that nothing can be taken for granted. So gratitude starts from your body, from your miraculous bodies. Next slide, please. This is a gentleman I would like to introduce to you, Nick. He's an Australian guy who was born without limbs. He didn't have his arms and he didn't have his legs. So half of his torso, he just has the torso that we can see. And this is the way he was born. So for him, this was himself. He didn't know any better. And I would really urge you to go on YouTube and listen to some of his inspirational talks. Because, you know, sometimes we take so much of our lives for granted that we kind of never reflect to see that there are people who are born differently. And I wouldn't even call them disabled, because that is a word that perhaps should be out of our dictionaries. They are perhaps more able than, you know, who we are fully able-bodied maybe, because they have the strength in the spirit. They have their strength in their hearts. And that's what causes us to be able or disabled, not our obvious shortcomings. So this guy teaches us that, you know, what you have in life, do not belittle it. Do not undermine your own self, your own life, because it is limitless what you can achieve in your life once you only start to reflect on how bountiful our lives are with whatever we may have. So this is one gentleman which I would really urge you to look up online and read more, and such an inspiration to all of us. Also, in my work of gratitude, I would like to say that gratitude impacts our health and well-being on many more different levels. It improves our mood. There is research that goes on that has shown us that certain neurochemicals like well-being neurotransmitters, dopamine, serotonin, they are released when we practice gratitude. There is enough research to show us that gratitude improves our, the gray material in our brains. There are studies which are done on fMRI that tell us that there are certain areas of the brain that start to light up when we practice gratitude. And this is all researched. We have a limitation of time, so I cannot go into too much research. It is an antidepressant. It reduces our stress hormone. Gratitude practices have shown to reduce cortisol levels. It is shown to increase endorphins, like, you know, when we are exercising, the feel-good hormone, the love hormone, oxytocin. You know, we are actually a living biochemical industry. All the chemicals that we seek outside are manufactured in our own body. And one of the ways to manufacture those feel-good hormones is by practicing gratitude. Next slide, please, Ashish. Now, gratitude for universe, and what do we mean by that? It is a beautiful planet that we all inhabit. It's called the blue planet. There are forces that are much above and beyond us. There is the force of the air that we breathe, and we recognize when it is polluted for us. There is the water that is this blue planet has gifted us, and it is known that we ourselves in the human body are almost 70%, if not more, water. Our planet is water. The hard mass, which is the earth, which is keeping us grounded. We are not flying off in the space because there is gravity, and there is so much more that this earth is providing us. It is the food, is the nourishment. It is the space which we see around us, the space that is holding our solar system, our galaxy. It is the universal forces like sun, the moon, energy of fire. You know, if you really reflect on, we understand that there can be so much to be grateful for, because we are not creating these forces. We are mere specks. You know, we are very mighty in our presence, but there are mightier forces that are working on our behalf. Gravity, we don't know how gravity came into existence. We don't know what causes sun, what causes moon, what causes stars in our solar system. These are the forces, and if you really reflect, our ancestors, much before we became an industrial civilization, our hunter and gatherers, these ancestors were praying to these universal elements. The biggest deities that they would pray to were the sun god, the moon god. They would pray to these elements. And even our harvest festivals, when we have harvest festivals, we realize that farmers pray to these forces. We give our produce to the fire. So let us go back to our roots and reflect that this is the power that sustains us. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, and if you are lucky to see sun up in the sky, give a humble gratitude to that. I wake up here and I have not had the privilege of seeing sun for the last 5 mornings. So don't take any of these forces for granted. Clean air, water in our taps. Start understanding, start being humble and recognizing there are so many forces that are making us, our life on this planet, on this times possible. So let's do that. Understanding that gratitude for our ancestors. So Ashish and I have actually launched 2 programs this year for gratitude. And the more we were doing gratitude, the more we realized, we are here today courtesy our ancestors. We are here today courtesy our parents. But when you go back, when you really go back and reflect generations and generations, maybe we can't go beyond 2 or 3 generations. Maybe we don't even know who our great-grandparents were. This lineage, this kind of ancestry that we all have, and the more you reflect back, the more you realize, yes, you know your parents, yes, you know grandparents from your maternal side and your paternal side, and perhaps you know great-grandparents, but beyond that, what? We realize that we have come from this lineage of ancestors that we don't even know. So today, let's reflect back and start saying thank you to our parents, our great-grandparents, because no matter how our relationship might be with our parents, we are here in flesh and blood because of them. We are here in flesh and blood because of our ancestors. And the more back you go, the more you understand it's mind-boggling reality. You don't know how families, how people have come together. And that is also a beautiful way to understand that, how interconnected we all are. We may think that, oh, this is my family, this is my extended family. But if you go back 20 generations, my extended family could be your extended family. It is impossible to understand that we are not related. And the more we are reflecting on this, we realized how humbling it is to understand that this soul that we have inherited has come from far beyond in the universe. So let us really take time to thank our ancestors. Let us not keep it for those few days when we are told religiously to reflect back. We have this ceremony in Hindu religion called the Shraddh, where we thank our ancestors. Let today be the day when we thank and send this love with gratitude to our entire lineage. And that goes beyond perhaps to the time the first humans inhabited the planet. So guys, on that note, I would like to do a short meditation where we just spend 5 minutes reflecting and feeling this energy. Ashish shared with us that gratitude is not just something that is spoken. Gratitude is something that is felt. So I urge you, whatever you are doing, to just become fully present. You may want to close your eyes. If just maintain a soft gaze on the floor, and let us really, in this group that we have come together, gather our energies, closing our eyes, muting ourselves. Sometimes there are background noises, so just make sure that you're muted. And connect with our breath in this moment. Really be grounded in this moment. Be fully present in the here and now. And let us start by acknowledging our breath. Let us start by giving gratitude to our breath for keeping us alive in this moment. In each moment, this breath that almost breathes by itself. Thank you. Thank you for keeping us alive, for breathing all by itself when we are sleeping, when we are working, or perhaps too stressed. The breath is always sustaining us. Our hearts that are beating constantly, Perhaps taking a moment to rest your hands on your heart in the center of your chest and just saying a gentle thank you. You may start to feel the beating heart. Direct this energy of gratitude to your heart for doing what it does all by itself, day and night, moment by moment, keeping us alive, almost allowing us to take its presence for granted. And let us extend this gratitude to each and every cell of our body, to each and every organ system, even perhaps to those parts of our body which are diseased, perhaps not working well. And trust that this energy of gratitude will even set off the healing for our bodies. Let us say gratitude to our own selves, to our own uniqueness. There is only one of you in this entire world on the planet, with our shares of ups and downs, our idiosyncrasies, our personality traits, however we are. Let us give gratitude to ourselves, to our journeys. And let us extend this gratitude to the air that we breathe, to the space that surrounds us, to the gravity that grounds us, to the earth that provides for us, to the sun that shines, to the moon that rises, to the water that sustains us. Let us become humble to these forces of nature. And let us be humble to each one on the planet, because now more than ever we realize that each of our behaviors impact each one of us. And let us end by saying gratitude to our parents for giving life to us, to our ancestors, way beyond what we know, to the entire lineage, because of who we are here today. Thank you to our ancestors for creating, for enduring, and allowing us to be here today. And a small prayer for them, for our ancestors, wherever you may be. Thank you for existing on this planet. May you know that we remember you with love, with gratitude in our hearts. May you be at peace. May you be at rest. And may you know that we remember you today, in this moment, with respect, with gratitude and reverence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let us come back to the group, opening our eyes if they were closed. And gently, respectfully extend this gratitude to each one present here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your participation. Anybody would like to share how that experience was? Anything you would like to reflect, share with the group? before we move on to the next section. Thank you, Subhashish.
I would like to ask something.
Yes, sir.
Means when we started this session and even some of the examples we have used, we are always relating the what should I say, the achievement and everything towards the money power, right? That so why is it like?
No, I would actually disagree with that, sir, because gratitude for money.
Some of those successful female and all that we shared, we are talking about their overall wealth and how much do they value and all that. So that's the reason I'm asking it.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for asking that question and for clarifying. It's a very powerful point that you make there, sir. Oprah is actually known because of her impact. Yes, she has a multi-million turnover, but what has actually impacted the world is the work that she does. So I would say that money is only a small part of gratitude. Gratitude for health that we just talked about, gratitude for relationships that we shared, gratitude for our universe and ancestors. This is the practice that we want you to go back with and understand that money is only a small part of the equation, and also money is an energy that perhaps is needed for us to sustain ourselves, but not the only energy. It is the impact which perhaps Oprah has created, the people she has influenced, and the inspiration that she is to the entire Black and ethnic minority community, because that community is still oppressed. We in the West world realize that minorities are still struggling. We have to understand that it is the impact and the inspiration that she is, and that's why we wanted to bring her in. Money is of course important, but it is only a small aspect of the entire success. And thank you, sir, for pointing that out.
No, that's exactly I wanted to bring it up, because that is just one of the
absolutely
thing, and even if your health is not good, then no amount of money can be of any
exactly
use, yeah?
And that's why we thank our bodies today and thank each and every cell, which is so important to do so.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rupa.
Thank you. Okay, so shall we move forward? Yeah. So one of the secrets to practicing gratitude is not what we shared, that being grateful first and not having something to be grateful for. That is one of the secrets, and commitment to practicing. And what we see on this slide is the snowball effect, actually. Just notice how a small speck of snow starts to roll, gain momentum, becomes bigger and bigger, and that's what is called the snowball effect. Understand that gratitude starts small, but what we humans perceive as small is actually just not small. We are always looking for bigger gains, and as Mr. Sanjeev so rightfully pointed, we equate gratitude to our material success. But understand that start by recognizing how abundant we all are already, how abundantly we are provided. And the more you start practicing with these small daily practices in our life, like Jadoo Ki Jhappi or the gratitude shower, it starts to snowball into a magnitude, into a power that will multiply in our life. So trust the process, start with simple things, start with small things, and be very sensitive to these small changes. And you'll start recognizing the shifts that happen in our lives. Because nothing is small. What is small for you is big for me. What is small for me is big for you. So recognize that and continue with your practice. And Ashish, may I request you to talk about net theory, because you say it better than I do. So I will invite Ashish here for that.
And, thanks, Dr. Nupur, for that lovely meditation.
Thank you.
Like we discussed, these are very tough times, and many times people find it difficult that, practicing gratitude can be a challenge. So here, what we would like to suggest is, the areas of our life. It could be health, it could be money, it could be career, it could be, relationships, whatever. And usually the challenges are in one of the areas or two of the areas, but in some areas things are going well. So we focus on the area. In case you're finding it difficult to practice gratitude, focus on the area in which it's going well, and be grateful for everything that is going well in that area. And once you start gratitude in that area, then you will find that the energy transforms in other areas as well, and you start being successful in the other areas. So we call this a net theory. Like when you pull a net and you put a finger into one of the net areas, then the entire, it's not that particular area that gets pulled, but the entire net gets pulled. So when you start practicing gratitude for one area of your life, then it starts impacting other areas of your life as long as you are consistent in that area. So that is what we are talking about here. And, it's guaranteed. The results from practicing gratitude in the different areas of our life, as you practice, you will find that you definitely get results in the different areas of your life. And one question I would like to ask you is where we began. How many of you would like to have a rocking 2021? How many of you would like to take off to a greater trajectory in 2021? So if you are ready for a rocking 2021, please type rocking 2021 in the chat box. And one of the things that we need to realize is that if we want different results, if we want a different 2021, then we need to be doing something different. We can't be doing the same things that we did in 2020 and expect different results in 2021. So what we have put together, a small program which will on gratitude, which will help you make 2021 deliver on your dreams for 2021. And first thing, which is required for manifestation, for gratitude to work for you, is to have clarity on what we want. It's only when we are clear on what we want in terms of our health or career or relationships, then the magic of gratitude happens. So the first step is getting clarity. So use this remaining days, and we'll be happy to support you with your goal setting process. And once you have set your goals, then the magic starts working for you, and it helps in dissolving problems and taking you to the next level of success. And to support you as a part of this journey, we are launching a program which is a year of living gratefully. So full 2021, we'll be doing daily practices, we'll be giving daily inputs. Have you found some of the ideas that we have shared with you valuable, whether it is blessing money or about relationships or about gratitude for ancestors? If you found those ideas were valuable, please type learn something valuable, LV, learn something valuable today. Those are the kind of prompts. Please type LV in the chat box if you learned something valuable today. Thanks, Sanjeev ji. Those are the kind of ideas we'll be sharing every day through 2021. And, we'll be, this is an online community that we are forming, where the daily prompts will be daily prompts on practicing gratitude will be shared. It will be Facebook community and WhatsApp community, and you will respond by sharing for what you are grateful for today. So like I'm sitting in a room which has got a nice heater which is keeping me comfortable, so I'm grateful for that heater. What is it, one thing that we are grateful for, and how practicing gratitude is helping us make those breakthroughs. So this is what we'll be sharing in the community. And this is a priceless program, so no money to be paid. You just need to indicate your willingness to be a part of this program by clicking on the link that is there. So I'll put this link out in the chat box for you so that you can click on this and let us know that you are interested. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, so while Ashish does that, thank you for sharing that, Ashish. I would also like to emphasize a secret about gratitude, that it multiplies when it is shared. This is like any energy that it's law of thermodynamics, it multiplies. So the more you share this with people, the more it'll multiply and magnify for you and in your life. So please sign up for this. Our intention is to create a pandemic of gratitude. So help us in this endeavor and share it with your friends and family to spread this consciousness. You know, it is expanding that awareness and consciousness so that all of us live with gratitude, all of us live humbly with love, and expand this space, because now we know what one person is doing in one part of the globe is touching another person in another part of the globe. So why not create this force and spread it across the planet? I think that is the need of the hour, and that is the need of 2021. So you're very welcome, and please share this. Thank you.
And once you have filled in the first one is a Google form where you can go and opt in for the program. And the second one is a WhatsApp group. So you could do both. You could join the WhatsApp group, and you could do Google Forms, or you could do either one for now. And we will get in touch with you and let you know the next steps. And once you have done the Google form, or you've joined us on the WhatsApp group, please type done so that we know that you have taken the action, and then we can move on and conclude the program. And while you are doing this, I'll take this time to share with you about the program we are having next week, which is on Saturday, 19th December at 12 noon. So that program is about being, we are human beings, but we don't pay much attention to being, we are doing all the time. So this program is whether we are human doing or we are human being. Thanks, Sanjeev ji. Thanks, Sarla. So once you have, filled in the Google form or joined the WhatsApp group, please type done so that we know you have taken the action for making 2021 a rocking year. Thanks, Manas. Thanks, Ritu. Thanks, Atulji. It takes only 30 seconds to fill the Google form. And if you're not comfortable doing the Google form, then maybe you can just join the WhatsApp group. And that's where we will keep sharing updates. Thanks, Neena ji. We'll wait for a couple of seconds to... And we'll be happy to take any questions or comments that you may have. Any takeaways, anything that you're going to practice. Are you going to go and say thank you to three of your closest people, for the good that they have done to you? What is it that you're going to please share with us on the chat, or unmute yourself and speak? We will be on for another 5 minutes or so before we draw the session to a close. We normally stick to time, but I think we got a little carried away today. And but I hope this session was worth it for you. Thanks, Mudit-ji. So we'll be happy to take any questions or comments or takeaways that you have. You could share one thing that you're going to practice, or one thing that you liked. Thank you, Anil. It'll also be nice if you can put on your cameras so that we can see you. Some of you have joined us for the first time, so please share with us your feedback. Thanks, Harsh. May I know who's MKMGEN? Some of you have joined us for the first time. Please let us have your feedback. Joy, Ritu. Thanks, Shantanu.
Ashish, I know you've been, sending the WhatsApp, almost I think for last 4-5 months. And, while having my lunch, I just looked at you and thought that, okay, let's go ahead and see what exactly it is. while these are things, something which I practice also, this is a subject very close to me. I really find it interesting. This is something which really kind of puts you at ease, rather being, adding the more anxiety which all of us had, these COVID times. So I will look forward to have more session, and and I will encourage people who have joined to continue, because this really settles you down. And I know Sanjeev sir talked about the money aspect as such, and adding to Nupur's point, I think the impact is so important. Money can be earned by Dawood Ibrahim as well, but it's the operas, it's the the people who have practiced these kind of a thing make more impact. So that's where these kind of a thing will take you to. So really appreciate you continued chasing me on this and WhatsApping me, and happy to be in this program. Yeah.
Thank you, Shantanu. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your taking out time and joining us, and for sharing your feedback. We look forward to your joining our sessions in the days to come. And I think we will bring this to a close now. So really from the bottom of thank you everyone for joining the session today. And I would like to invite you to block your calendars, 12 o'clock next Saturday. That's also going to be a very exciting session. Human doing versus human being. We are so focused on doing, we forget being. What does human being mean? And it will not be the session, it will be a different session in the sense that there will be no teacher, there will be no student, there will be no trainer, there will be no participant. We will all come together in a format where we will have a discussion. It will be like a group discussion. So we will modulate it, but we'll moderate it, but it will be open to question answers. That's the only format. So no PPTs, just a discussion. We will bring up some aspects of human doing versus human being, why it's important to be, just be and experience ourselves. So that's the session, the next one. And we'll be very happy, if you take out time and practice. That's the key. And we have shared some tools, being grateful for the money, saying, I love you money, or, taking out time to be grateful to yourselves, the body organs, or to say thank you to the people, Jadoo Ki Jappi, gratitude showers. A lot of ideas which you can implement in your daily life, personal and professional life. So please take those ideas and implement them. That's when the magic starts happening, and practice it consistently. And thank you. Looking forward to your joining us next Saturday.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for their time and your contribution. It's invaluable. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.